A noted North Texas author passed away last week. His name was Jim Marrs.
And while you might not know his name, a legion of his fans certainly do. Fans who followed his questions about conspiracies, from aliens to JFK. Here's News 8's Kevin Reese.
This has been one of the biggest cover-ups ever.
When I met Jim Marrs, he agreed to talk about one of his favorite subjects.
Yeah, I think it happened.
UFOs, a specific incident in Aurora, Texas, and his belief in a government cover-up.
He said, I think it was the government. And I said, I think you're right.
The personification of a good Texas man, honest as the day is long.
Today, his friends paused to remember a Texas original.
But if you looked up a character in the dictionary, it would say Jim Marrs. He was the personification of a character.
He was a longtime reporter for the Fort Worth Star-Telegram and the author of a dozen books, from Alien Agenda to a book called Crossfire, The Plot That Killed Kennedy, a conspiracy narrative that became much of the motivation for the Hollywood movie by Oliver Stone.
Jim was one of the first people who found his niche, stuck to it, and found a great audience.
Bud Kennedy was a colleague at the Star-Telegram.
You know, what I admire about Jim is that I don't really believe everything he wrote, but I believe he knew how to sell books.
Jim Marrs died of a heart attack last week at the age of 73. Tributes poured in over social media over the weekend from across the world.
His passing to another dimension, I can't think of him as not being vibrant and alive somewhere in the cosmos.
Linda Howe is a kindred spirit and investigative journalist in New Mexico who says this was no conspiracy nut. This was a man searching for the truth.
His work, I think, will live on because that is all that Jim Marrs wanted to do.
Believer is not really quite exact. Believing is when I believe in a God. I know there are UFOs.
Just a wild and wacky guy, but a really sweet, good old Texas boy.
A good old Texas boy whose influence and whose countless questions live on. Kevin Reese, Channel 8 News.